welcome back for another trip around the Circle, your guide to all of the events happening in the Circle City. I'm Jalea Brooks, and I can't wait to share with you some of the cool things that are happening near you this month. We have a lot to get to, so let's start with some of the events coming up pretty soon. So I don't know about you, but summer to me means outdoor events, and there are a lot this year at the Everwise Amphitheater. Our Anne-Marie Tiernan had a sit-down interview with Jimi Hendrix. No, not the one you're probably thinking of, but he tells us who's taking over the stage this year.
I know you're excited about this lineup. What excites you the most about what you're seeing that's booked?
I definitely think the excitement starts with the weather. Where outdoor concerts are here. Coming up for me personally at Everwise Amphitheater, I'm a 90s kid, so everything from Goo Goo Dolls to Counting Crows to Bare Naked Ladies. But that's the beautiful thing about it, is there's going to be something for everyone. Depending on what you might like, I guarantee you we'll find something that interests you.
Yeah, sometimes you see something you really like, and then you look at the price and you think, oh gosh, that's a killer. But you just have some new ticket pricings that were just announced.
Yeah, we just announced yesterday the $30 ticket to live. It's going to be a summer promotion we're running for both Everwise Amphitheater and Ruoff Music Center. Okay. So it's going to be over 40 shows here in Central Indiana, where you can get a $30 all-in ticket. So that's the price. Everything you pay is within the $30. And that offer is going to start May 21st. So Wednesday of next week at 10 a.m. You'll be able to go now to livenation.com. You can click on the $30 ticket to summer banner. You'll see the list of shows that are coming, and there's a nice little reminder clock that'll count down and get you closer to Wednesday at 10 a.m. when we release the $30 tickets. What
would you say is the biggest draw, the biggest event this summer?
For us at Everwise Amphitheater, we already have some shows that are sold out in advance. A popular artist, Teddy Swims. We announced that show last November and it sold out. And Weird Al Yankovic was our first sellout show. We put him on sale last November, and that man is still doing it. So we're excited to have both of them. And on the newer front, check out a band called the Red Clay Strays. They sold out Everwise after playing other venues here in town. And so again, something for everyone. But check it out now so you don't miss out on the next sellout.
And I also got to chat with one of the groups performing at Everwise this year, the Driver Era brothers, Rocky and Ross Lynch, and their band are on an international tour right now. And they took a little time to video chat with us.
I have to ask for your fans, what can they expect on the Indianapolis leg of the tour, just on the tour in general?
A great show. I feel like if there's one thing that we've made our brand identity, it's like our shows.
Yeah.
And they're always like high energy and very rock and roll. And I think that's kind of like what we do.
Yeah. A night that they will remember, I think, is what they can expect, honestly.
Well, if you are a Driver Era fan, you can see them on stage at Everwise Amphitheater June 3rd. We've got the ticket information on Everwise's website, and we'll connect you at WTHR.com. And there are several other stars to look out for this month, including Avril Lavigne and Simple Plan and Mumford & Sons. Also, Key Glock is coming to Indianapolis, as well as Keith Urban. All right, so June is Pride Month, and to celebrate, Indy Pride is hosting a new 2-day music series called Word of Mouth. It's June 14th and 15th from 2 to 10 every day at the American Legion Mall. 13 News' Ariana Sergio met with some of this year's lively performers to talk about the series and Indy's drag community.
I love Pride in Fort Wayne. I was Miss Fort Wayne Pride in 2021, and I believe in fostering community. I believe in bringing people together even when we disagree. Like, I think that there's always common ground, and at the end of the day, the queer community is under attack, and we really only have each other. So I love Pride. I love what it stands for. I performed at Indie Pride 2 years ago on the community stage, so it's a little bit smaller. It was a more intimate kind of setting. So this is my first time on the main stage, so I'm very, very excited. My first time seeing my name on the same flyer as like someone like Natasha Bedingfield. Like that's kind of gaggy to me. So I'm very, very excited. I'll be bringing all my dancers and all the fun. So I'm really excited but nervous. But being nervous is good because it means you care. So. Actually, my favorite role I've ever played with indie drag theater was Margaret White in Carrie, because I've never gotten to do anything like that. It was like my first time not being typecast. It was really incredible for me. My favorite performance outside of that, outside of the theater world, I believe that a drag queen should perform what speaks to their heart. And so sometimes I love to go out there and do a little, Taylor Swift, get the brunch dollars, but sometimes like, when I did Miss Gay Indiana, I did a Florence and the Machine mix, and I remember all my friends were like, girl, don't do Florence, like do the pop star stuff you're really good at. And I'm like, I want to do what speaks to my heart. And one of my favorite performances ever is when I got to perform Florence and the Machine and left everybody speechless, because it just was like a meaningful performance, and they could tell that even if they didn't know the song, it was like, whoa, that spoke to all of us. So those are probably my two favorites. My advice to people who want to perform or want to do drag is do it because you want to do it, and do the kind of drag you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you the kind of drag you have to do. Don't let anybody tell you what the rules are. I mean, there are some rules, there's polish, but do drag because you want to perform. Do drag because you want to make a difference, and do drag because you have something to say. I think that there's a lot of drag queens in the world right now. I mean, thank you RuPaul's Drag Race for bringing drag to the world, but only do drag if you have something to say. I think that's the most interesting type of drag. It's the most meaningful type of drag, and it's what people want to see. They want to see originality, uniqueness, charisma, nerve, and talent, right? They want to see, you at your core. So if you get into drag, just keep yourself at your core and you'll do great. Just getting in drag in general is activism, and it is political. I know a lot of people like to say like, oh, I don't get involved in politics, or I just like to perform in clubs. I don't like to be political, but putting on the wig and the makeup is political whether we like it or not. So I think it's really important that like we are all standing together and being visible to our community. I think a lot of the times I'm one of those people I put my foot in my mouth, and I get called out for maybe saying things I shouldn't when it comes to standing up for the underdog. But I believe that we're only as strong as the weakest among us, and we have to always be supporting our whole entire community with our whole heart. I think if you get into drag because you want to be the star, like, you're not going to succeed. You have to get into drag because you love being a star, but also because you love supporting your community and you love being there for people who need your support. And, I always have said that I love performing because I love when I get to see somebody who had an awful day at work have a smile on their face because they get to come see a performance of pure queer joy. And even though I live for the applause, I also live for inspiring other people. And I think that's at its core what drag should be, is inspirational. Whether it's, the type of drag that you're reading to children and wearing rainbows, or whether it's, dancing in a club, I think at the end of the day we're all here for each other, and drag is meant to be something that brings people together.
That festival, again, June 14th and 15th. It'll feature a blend of live music, drag performances, and community celebration. If you want some more information about Indie Pride, you can read this full story at WTHR.com. So Juneteenth may be the newest federal holiday, but the celebration has deep historical roots. The day has been commemorated for more than 160 years in recognition and celebration of the day enslaved African Americans learned of their emancipation, making it official. Now, yes, it is June 19th, but the events start a lot earlier throughout the Circle City with the Juneteenth Foodways Festival. It's at the Benjamin Harrison Center, and it highlights the story of Dolly Johnson. If you don't know that name, you will after this event.
It's really exciting to see people come in here for the first time.
Who is Dolly Johnson?
Yeah, Dolly Johnson was born in Kentucky. At some point, there was a connection with the Harrison family, and she was invited to be the the White House chef for Benjamin Harrison. It was great for that time. She then went on to cook briefly for another president, and then ended up going back home and being an entrepreneur, where she had multiple businesses and continued out her years there, and was very successful.
And this is year 4. Talk to me about the success of the Food Waste Fest so far.
Yeah, it's been great to see family and people out there on the yard. Each year it just grows. We expand on different retail vendors and food vendors, and just being able to support those entrepreneurs is really what this is all about.
And food is always a good way to bring people together, but was it cool to see the light bulb go off when you guys shared Dolly's story and they realized its significance?
Absolutely, and it's great because also we share some of her menu items with the vendors, and they're able to prepare some of her dishes. So that connection to that entrepreneurial spirit is really exciting.
And what do you hope people leave here with besides a full stomach when they leave this event?
Yeah, a knowledge of Dolly Johnson, and then just inspiration to kind of do your own thing no matter what, and just really be excited to continue that legacy that she started so many years ago.
So if you are a foodie and you want to learn a little history, here are the details and more on that event. So again, June 13th, mark it on your calendar from 4:30 to 8 p.m. at the Benjamin Harrison Center downtown. Now, general admission is free, but if you want to beat the crowd, you can get an early access pass and start your tasting an hour earlier. That's $20 for both, though. You do need to register ahead of time online. Well, there are quite a few events sprinkled across Indianapolis for the Juneteenth holiday, and this one is a favorite. Back again for year 4. The Legacy Fest Block Party. That's happening on Saturday, June 21st. And joining us to talk about Ring It In this year is Christian Strickland, president of the Madam Walker Legacy Center. So first, thank you for being here with us on Around the Circle.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you here. So tell us about the event. I know it's year 4, and it feels like it just gets bigger and better every year.
Bigger and better, yeah. So our Legacy Fest weekend is 2 full days of celebrating Black Music Month, Black History, and Madam Walker's legacy. And we are so excited. We kick it off on Friday with the Isley Brothers. What we try to do is usually say, like, we have our legends right now that are here on Friday, and then with the block party are our legends in the making. So it's a ticketed event on Friday. On Saturday, it's free and open to the public. 2 whole days of Indiana Avenue being blocked off and just open for the community.
And I love, like you said, you have your legacy performers and artists, because you really make sure that you make sure this is an event for everybody.
Absolutely.
For all ages, and that's so important for an event like this. So what's new this year, or what can people expect that they haven't seen maybe in the past couple of years?
So I wouldn't say really anything that's new, but what I would say is better. What was new last year was that we opened it up for community vendors. And so we usually just had our sponsor vendors. So there are more community vendors, so you can come and you can get your hair care products. You can get a burger from one of your favorite food trucks, and you can hear some really, really amazing, talented people right here in Indianapolis.
And such a diverse list of vendors too. I know you mentioned like anything from hair care products. There are a lot of local food places that you can try. Some of your spots that maybe don't have a brick and mortar place that you can maybe try here for the first time. And it's a kid friendly, or really all ages friendly, but there is a kid zone this year.
There is a kid zone, and there's a grown folks zone.
Okay,
so.
So
you can send the kids.
The kids
to
should
their
have
area.
all the fun.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And so, but yeah, it is. It's open. Last year, I think one of the things that warmed my heart the most was you saw people of all ages. You saw your kids over here having a great time, and you saw our seasoned, friends sitting there playing chess. All, just right there on the avenue. And that's really what we're trying to get back to, is that we've heard always about the history of Indiana Avenue and what it meant to our community. And this is one weekend a year where we're going to take you back and let you come and just have a great time.
But also looking ahead too, because as you mentioned, we have some of the artists in the now that are making a difference. And I love that you guys say this is a weekend of culture, community, and celebration. And so that's really what it's all about. You did say part of this was ticketed, or is all of it ticketed?
Yes. So Friday, the Isley Brothers concert, low ticket alert.
Okay. Okay.
We're almost sold out,
Yeah.
but those tickets are still available on our website at MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com. Block party is free. I would be remiss if I didn't say that this is a fundraiser, though, right?
Yeah.
Like we want to be around. We're almost 100 years old, and we're looking, at the next 100 years.
Right.
And so we need people to come out. We need you to have a good time, but we also need you to donate whatever you want
to invest back into things that you want to
absolutely.
see happening. Yes.
Absolutely.
And I think with a name like the Isley Brothers, it's probably going to be a sold out event. Yeah, because I think a lot of people will be excited to see that. So again, where can people find this ticket information?
Yeah, so you can go on our website at MadamWalkerLegacyCenter.com.
Okay, and we will have more information on this posted on WTHR as well. Thank you so much, Christian, for being here on Around the Circle, and we'll be right back with more. Well, here's another way to get around the Circle City. Have you ever considered canoeing to work? Probably not, but that doesn't mean you can't give it a try this month. And if you need a little bit of convincing, maybe when you hear the why behind it, it'll persuade you. Here's Anne-Marie Tiernan.
So joining me now is Jeremy Morris with Burke Engineering. So Jeremy, tell us a little bit about this involvement with Canoe to Work. This is really cool.
Absolutely. At Burke Engineering, we have a pretty strong wellness program. And years ago, we started biking to work, and as part of our general environmental awareness and wellness, we bike to work. About a handful of us are pretty outdoorsy in the office and like to paddle, so we're like, maybe we could canoe or kayak to work instead of biking to work. Started as a little team building exercise. We all grabbed some paddles and canoes and kayaks about 14 years ago and jumped in Fall Creek, and we canoed into downtown. And it has grown ever since.
Yeah, and I assume you're all wearing your life jackets.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. All right, so tell us what it's like out there canoeing on the river and also about the ecosystem along the White River.
Sure, absolutely. I tell you what, Fall Creek and White River are amazing local waterways. They're amazing water resources. You'd be surprised by the amount of nature you'll see out there we start at 7 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, and work our way down. They're beautiful. And as a company, we've had opportunities to work with Citizens Energy Group and the City of Indianapolis on projects that are along those corridors. And it gets us an opportunity to see some of that work from a whole new perspective, mixed in with the nature. It's an awesome event. So, and we know, based on those projects and the communities we've worked in, that cities and communities that prioritize their water resources are better places to live, work, and play in.
Yeah, well, it is amazing. I always feel like if you get outside, you really do grow inside so much. So if people would like to participate, and they do that, do they need to have a canoe? What's the who, what, where, when, why? Because it's like, okay, it's Friday morning, canoe to work.
Right.
What do we do?
So we've got our website out there, cbbel-in.com. There's some information on there. You can contact us at Burke Engineering. We can see if we've got some kayaks and boats left. It doesn't have to be with us. We encourage people to take this beginning of June when the weather's appropriate, because we will, if we get some big rain or any events like that, we'll postpone it until it's safe. But if you're less experienced, get with an outfitter. We've been using White River Canoe Company. They've been helping us bring in boats and do all that. Get with them. They've got plenty of places up on the north side that they canoe and kayak. If you're experienced and have a boat, feel free to come join us down at Fall Creek and 30th Park on June 6th. We'll get going 6:30. We'll start loading boats into the water 7 o'clock. We've had people just show up and tag along with us. And like I said, last year we had like 50 plus canoes and kayaks on the water. So.
All right, I am intrigued by this. I'm now remembering why this morning I was like, why was I going to want to wear pants to work today? But tell us a little bit about this paddle and this canoe as we try to gracefully and elegantly get it here with this little kayak here.
So a lot of what we've done lately have been the kayaks themselves, the single person kayaks. We do get some folks that show up with the canoes. Canoes, you got another person in the boat with you, so sometimes that takes a little bit more teamwork, whereas the kayaks are more of a single. You kind of make your decision, go where you want with it.
Yeah.
It's just a rotation back and forth on the paddle, and a lot of it's just floating. and getting to see the rivers and the wildlife that's out there.
Yeah, I can feel it. I'm visualizing it right now. All right, Jeremy Morris with Burke Engineering, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
I hope people are inspired when they see this segment. If they don't join you on that day, that at least they look into the opportunities that are on the waterways in our community.
Convinced? I don't know, but no exercising needed for this next event. This is a summer staple, especially if you have a sweet tooth. The 59th Annual Strawberry Festival, put on by the Cathedral Women of Christ Church Cathedral. Again, this event is every year. It brings out thousands of people to downtown Indy. So our Matthew Foltz spoke to volunteers and organizers about what makes this one so sweet.
It's a treat so many look forward to every year.
We do 3 shifts in our bake week, morning, afternoon, and evening.
The strawberry shortcake biscuit.
So we keep this oven continuously running. That way we can hit our goal of around 3,000 to 4,000 biscuits a day.
Each one topped with strawberries, whipped cream, and ice cream are baked right here in the kitchen of Christ Church Cathedral on Monument Circle.
So we bake 15,000 shortcake biscuits.
Sarah McFetridge has helped continue the Strawberry Festival tradition for nearly a decade now.
So we have a planning committee of about 5 to 6 people that start planning in January for this event. And then we lead up to Bake Week, which is normally late April, early May, where we bake all of our biscuits.
It got started back in 1965.
With our parishioner, her name was Pat Harding, and she was from England, and they had a strawberry festival sort of similar to this on a smaller scale, and she thought, well, this would be a great thing to have in downtown Indianapolis. And so they baked 100 biscuits.
From there, the love for the biscuits only grew. 59 years later, and Hoosiers are still loving them.
So many people that we talked to this during the event have been coming for even 3 generations. They've come with their grandparents and their children, and now they're taking their grandchildren.
The shortcake biscuits not only helping people cool off for the summer, but as a way to help raise money for Hoosiers in need.
Over 95% of the proceeds of the Strawberry Festival go back out as grants to local Central Indiana nonprofits.
A tradition the church hopes families will enjoy for years to come.
It's a really fun family event to come meet downtown, or a really fun time for your coworkers to come take a break from the office and just go enjoy the circle.
Reporting in downtown Indy, Matthew Foltz, 13 News.
So after you get your sweet fix, time for a little savory with the cherished Holy Rosary Italian Street Festival. More than 25 food booths and vendors are serving up some authentic Italian cuisine, and our Dustin Grove sat down with organizers ahead of this event.
We are just days away from one of the city's favorite summer festivals, and one of the longest running, too. We're talking about the 40th Italian Street Festival kicking off next Friday, and here to talk about it is Kate Feeney-Cato.
Yep.
And Lisa Meister, who, remind me what your official title is?
I'm the kitchen director.
The kitchen
chief.
Kitchen's director. The chief of all of these incredible treats. So there is so much fun. There are sights, there are sounds. Oh, there are flavors. So let's talk about, just to begin with, I mean, this has got to be one of the premier food festivals in the city, right?
Without a doubt, without a doubt, because I think the planning and the detail and the fact that we still keep it free. Mm-hmm. So in theory, if you wanted to just come and enjoy an afternoon, enjoy free music and take in all the ambiance, the twinkling lights, the mass service, the parades, you could do that without spending a dime. But it is our most significant fundraiser for Holy Rosary. Fletcher Place, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, and what I think is really we need to draw attention to is what you have here is just, I mean, it's nothing.
It's exquisite.
Lisa orders and prepares and then serves and distributes for roughly 35,000 people.
Oh, so Lisa, tell us what we've got here. This is just an example of some of the items.
Bruschetta's always been a real favorite item that we brought back a couple years ago. And we brought our manicotti batch, which was really popular last year. Mm-hmm. We hope to make sure we can do it a lot faster this year so we can keep the lines down.
Okay.
Our cannolis are always really famous and popular. We make about 7,000. We fill them at the time of when you show up at the dessert booth. Mm-hmm. And we have our tiramisu, which is very popular too, an item. I think all our desserts are pretty popular. We got brownies there, and we also have homemade cheesecake. And we have our sausage sandwiches with our peppers and onions, our Parmesan cheese, and then we have our famous meatball sandwiches, and you can get those spaghetti meatballs or meatballs on a stick in the park. We have musical play on Friday from 5 to 11.
Yeah, you've got a lineup of entertainment.
Yeah, our
right?
feature bands on Friday are 8 to 11, our Vinyl Escape, and then we have from Holy Name in Beach Grove, we have Trainwreck. They'll be there 8 to 11 on Saturday.
Okay, and then we mentioned obviously that this is fun for the whole family. What are some things that the kids especially would enjoy?
We have bounce houses again back this year.
Big
on
bounce
the side
houses,
on the
big.
side of church.
Okay.
So it'll
Not
give the
just
kids something
small.
to do. Yeah.
The big bounce house.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
With big
Yes.
bounce houses, there's like 6 or 8 of them will be there on the side of church.
Okay.
So it'll give the kids something to do while the parents enjoy the music.
Wonderful. So again, we're talking next Friday and Saturday, right? And what are the times?
All are welcome. The times are 5 to 11, although I kid you not, people get in line Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock.
We got the information right there.
With like
on your
to-go
screen.
bags and
And to go, we can do
well,
a to-go bag?
no.
Oh
Well,
boy, that's a game changer.
There is a to-go sauce of Lisa sauce, which is a bestseller.
Oh,
they
man.
sell it in containers.
All right.
Yeah.
So to take home.
Love it. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so
40th
much,
Annual
Justin.
Italian
40th.
Street Fest.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you for
All
having
are
us.
welcome. Please join us.
This next event is an opportunity to beautify an area on the east side of Indy. 13 News' DeAndre Blewett is here to explain. Hey, Dre.
Hey, it's called Art in the Garden. Now, over 2 immersive days, you're invited to help create a mural at Tuba Gardens. Now, this is led and directed by one of Art and Soul's featured artists, Kiera Reddy. Now, we talked one-on-one about this project that's coming up, and I started by asking her about her own personal style of artwork.
Most of my art is centered around nature, community, and diversity. So you'll see that through all of the different women and people represented in my art.
You are one of 2025 Art and Soul's featured artists. Can you kind of describe to us what Art and Soul is and what it feels to be a part of that?
Yeah, so Art and Soul is a program. I believe it's been around for about 30 years, and they work with Black artists to really showcase the work that they're doing in the community. So it's all different types of art. And this year, I'm able to be a part, and this has been, it's so cliche to say like life-changing, but this has been one of the best experiences of my life because I feel like I'm able to live out some of my biggest dreams, get my art in front of so many new people, have a space to create freely where I feel appreciated and supported.
Tell me a little more about this 2-day program that's coming up in June, the Art in the Garden.
Yeah, Art in the Garden. So I'm really excited about this one. This is a 2-day program where we will be painting a community mural at Tuba Gardens. And we are going to be working with all ages starting at age 10. So it's a youth program. And they're going to come out, they'll paint with us, we'll listen to some music, we'll make a mural on the wall in the garden, and then we'll be able to just really celebrate on bringing something new to that space.
So, of course, I asked her to show me how it's done.
On the day of the mural, first things first, we got to put our aprons on. So go ahead and put your apron on. So once we have all of our protective gear, the next thing that we will do is look at the design. Here's a picture of the design that we're going to be painting. And as you see in the design, every color is associated with a letter. So I write all the letters on top of the paint can so that they know. Grab your can of paint, grab your color, and then you just get to work.
Now, after all the planning, designing, and gallons of paint used on this mural, Kiera said it will take about 2 days to complete. Then she will spend about 2 more weeks touching up and adding a protective coat of paint so it can survive the randomness of Indiana weather for 5 to 10 years. It's more than just Arts and Craft Day. It's a project of community pride.
Gardening and art both in itself is therapeutic. So we're using that to not only allow the youth the opportunity to tap into their creative skills and also to give the youth and their parents and residents of the area a sense of belonging and using a space where they could come together in the future.
Now, this event is welcoming people of all age groups and all skill levels, so don't worry if you haven't picked up a brush in a while like I did.
Okay.
So here is the information again. Arts in the Garden is from June 18th and 19th from 10 a.m. to noon. Sign up in advance at freemindcreations.com.
The event will be held at Tuba Gardens. The address is right here on your screen.
All right, love that this is very inclusive. Thank you, Dre, for sharing that with us. All right, PopCon is coming back to Indianapolis. This is a long-time tradition. It's year 12. This is another event that brings thousands of fans to our city for a weekend celebrating pop culture. This year's event will be held at the Indiana Convention Center from June 27th through the 29th. Fans can meet celebrities, they compete in these weekend-long challenges, and then what we all like to see, them dressed up as their favorite characters too. If this sounds like an event for you, we've got more information, including how to get your tickets early at WTHR.com. They have created a lot of buzz around the circle, and right now the Indiana Fever have had an explosive few years, and one of its star players is being honored in a big way. WNBA superstar Tamika Catchings is getting her very own mural on Mass Ave in downtown Indy. Now, the mural will be created by Hoosier-based artist Nate Baranowski. He's known for his work on large chalk and painted murals and digital art too. 13 News was able to talk to Baranowski about his mural concept that you'll be able to see very soon during WNBA All-Star 2025 weekend.
What I created was a concept for the mural that involves a large portrait of Tamika and then little snapshots of her career and her life off to the side, showcasing that she's not just a WNBA superstar, but also an activist, a mentor, a teacher, a speaker, and like all these other areas of her life. So I wanted to showcase that she's not just one thing, but also that she's a very warm and radiant person. So I wanted my concept to reflect that and in my piece. I have always loved making art ever since I was a kid, but right around during my time at college, I started a part-time job doing chalk art at the University of Illinois in Champaign, and I would do chalk drawings for people for announcements and that sort of thing because I just loved making art, and started that in college. And after graduating, I moved down to Florida and found some chalk festivals where almost every weekend they had a festival where you could go and they shut down the street and you could make chalk art right on the street, and I loved it. I just did it as a hobby on the side. And then probably around 2015, I found some chalk artists that were doing more full-time work for advertising for brands. And so I started doing a little bit more of that, and then started painting murals as well. And pretty soon I left my design job to pursue this full-time. Usually my favorite is going to be the next one, and my least favorite is the one I just did. But that's the looking back at your art and being very critical of the one you just finished and being very hopeful of the one you're about to do. But I would say looking back, I really enjoyed, I created a piece in LA for the Museum of Illusions there, where it's a night sky in LA and you're standing out on a balcony balancing on a ledge. I thought that was a really effective illusion. And then I have things that are just interesting to me personally. So I did a long time ago, I did a reproduction of a movie poster by Drew Struzan, who did the Indiana Jones and Harry Potter movie posters back in the day. And so I got permission from him a long time ago to recreate one at a chalk festival. So I did an Indiana Jones piece that I look back fondly on. I don't know if the art actually holds up, but I have fond memories of it. I want my work to bring people a level of delight and joy when they run across it. I think that murals, street paintings, chalk art, they all bring art out into the street for those who consider themselves art lovers and those who are not. And I think that's a great way for people to enjoy art who would never choose to set foot in an art museum. So the art comes to them, and I'm delighted when people who wouldn't consider themselves I don't really think much about art at all or much about this form, but they run across it and yeah, it brings it wow, that's really cool. Especially when it comes to pieces that I do that people are supposed to step into or walk into, that really is fun to watch people go from being kind of timid or like, what is this, to 10 minutes later they're hopping around in a 3D world and jumping and acting like kids, even like the most serious adults. So that's the hope that for most of my art, that it brings a level of delight to people. For young artists, I would say, let yourself go outside of what you love and find the passion for just the art form, even if it's not for the subject matter. And eventually you'll be able to do basically only what you want to do.
Well, we can't wait to see that smile in our city. Nate is already hard at work on that piece, and Tamika's mural will be around for at least 15 years when it's complete. If you'd like to connect with the artist behind that masterpiece, here's his website right here on your screen, or you can give him a follow on Instagram too, @NateBaranowski. Well, that does it for this trip around the circle. We hope that you learned something new or met someone new in our community, or maybe saw an event that you'd like to check out near you. I'm Julia Brooks, and this is Around the Circle.